Video games are not educational as you think. They say there are 4 educational genres in video games. It is puzzle, management, role-playing, and strategy. I don't buy it. It's true that they teach you problem-solving skills, but how can you be so sure of your answer if you're an insecure person? They don't teach us how to trust ourselves or to handle mental issues, especially depression. Video games can be fun to fill our time when we have problems, but it doesn't teach us how to solve them. First, we must learn what the meaning of education is. The word education must not be taken lightly. It is perhaps the most powerful weapon. We can use it to change the world. It is a saying, but today it is losing its charm. I'm here to discuss about the true meaning of education. The word education we come across every day several times. It means acquiring knowledge by learning. But the question is, how do we learn? We learn from our day-to-day experiences, trying out new things we haven't yet experienced. True education is not about earning degrees, it is more than bookish knowledge. Education means instilling moral values, positive thinking, attitude of helping, attitude of giving to society, and ethical values. These kinds of students are only able to bring changes in society. They will become good citizen of country and most important one, good human being. Such students are able to discover something new, outbreaking. They will surely become successful in their life. Let's get back to video games. Let's be very honest here. Anyone who plays video games will not play for educational purposes and for entertainment. They will more likely to play video games with the genre of the 3 most popular genre of this time, which is action, battle royale, and adventure. Let's start off with the action genre together with adventure genre. One of the most popular action-adventure games of all time is Grand Theft Auto. The series focuses on many different protagonists who attempt to rise through the ranks of the criminal underworld. Although their motives for doing so vary in each game, a game which contains violence, sexual content, strong language, drugs, crime organization, and a role of criminal. It doesn't mean it will make the player a real life criminal or a violent person. Instead, it can affect the children since internet is very accessible nowadays. They may not or cannot play the game, but watching the gameplay through YouTube is enough to change the minds of the young people. When they grow up, the amount of toxicity of the ones who's playing it or the YouTuber is too much. Add it up with the violent game they're playing. They may not instill moral values, attitude of helping, and especially ethical values, since GTA focuses on becoming a high-ranking criminal. You will kill, betray, even lie to your fellow criminals just to rise through the ranks of the criminal underworld. Now, for the Battle Royale genre, it focuses on becoming the last man standing wins, like the movie Hunger Games. The most popular Battle Royale video game is Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale is a player versus player battle royale game for up to 100 players. They must scavenge for weapons, items, resources, and even vehicles while trying to stay alive and attack other players, eliminating them. Fortnite is as addictive as heroin, according to health experts. With millions of daily active players, Fortnite Battle Royale is currently the most popular game in the world. The Fortnite hype has taken the world over, and almost everyone has heard of it. Unfortunately, some people are addicted to this video game, and the latest report indicates that this addiction can be very harmful. Last month, there have been some reports about how Fortnite has ruined numerous marriages. According to these reports, over 200 marriages have been ruined by the video game. This time, experts are comparing Fortnite to heroin because of how bad it is, and it doesn't seem that things are getting any better. According to this report, it doesn't just affect children but also adults. According to Illinois Institute for Addiction Recovery, video game addiction is described as an impulse control disorder, which does not involve use of an intoxicating drug and is very similar to pathological gambling. Meaning to say, the victims are often unaware or in denial of having a problem. Video games, on the other hand, it encourages players to kill each other instead of helping each other. I know it sounds crazy, but we're more worried about the children growing up like this. Our world today focuses on competitiveness instead of collaboration. It's not it's not just on video games, but also in schools. The word collaboration is needed for engineers. How can you help or team up with other engineers if you only know how to compete? Let's not focus too much on the world. Let's discuss mental issue and how it relates to video games. Research says too much screen time can lead to anxiety and depression. Video game doesn't teach us how to handle mental issues, they are also the cause. I'll be fair about games. Yes, some games help learn in a way. You might say that someone would be able to answer a question from a teacher or know more about. No, games gets kids addicted. Whether it's being addicted in the sense of wanting to finish a level or paying too much attention to a game in a way that is harmful to the eyes and brains. Yes, Minecraft can make a child creative, but it doesn't teach them time management. Since building a house can took hours of gameplay, too much screen time if I were to say. I know that art takes a lot of time, but aren't you aware that too much screen time can harm you? So that's why I'm encouraging the parents, since they have the power, the authority to make our kids stay out of video games for too long, because kids are more prone to video games addictions, especially nowadays. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, recommends limiting video games to 1 hour per day. If the kid refuses to limit their time in video games, that is the sign of addiction. Based on the dictionary, addiction is the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular thing or activity. That particular thing is the gadget and that particular activity is playing video games. If they still refuse to limit their time, then you should try another way, like healthy distraction. According to David Sack M.D., that we should try to distract ourselves from the things that are causing us harm. For example, like jogging every day in the morning, instead of playing video games from the time you wake up. This one is for adults. For the kids, how about baking a cake together? It's more like a family bonding, if I were to say. If they're addicted to video games, we should at least have the concern to help them. Just for clarification, video game addiction is not only happening for kids but also in adults. So if you have an adult friend who's always playing video games for like 12 hours a day, you should try considering helping them. Ask them to go out sometimes. For me, as a fellow gamer, it's fun to play video games, especially with my friends and my brother. But it's never been too fun when I see myself being consumed by it. It's okay for me to play 10 hours every day when I was like 12 years old. At the time, I didn't know what I was doing with my life. When I turned 16 years old, only then I realized that I should work or focus on something else that will matter on the long run. Because I'm not going to play video games for life. I'm not a professional gamer, so I'm not going to get money out of video games. So I started working for myself. I started first at my academics. To be honest, I only study the things that interest me. So I really don't have that much of a high grade. When I was in grade 8, I was at the top 3 bottom of my class. When I started working for myself, I was at the top 20 of my class. That's on my 10th grade. For me, it's not a big deal really. In 10th grade, I started working out. I have a saying for being a gamer. And it goes like this: you must be physically fit to play video games. I don't know if anyone said that before, but I guess we have the same idea. I'm not forcing you to believe this. I just want to let you know that what makes you you, what makes you is ultimately your decision. That's something no one can take away from you.